welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Autumn the Crafted Gemini, and we are here for yet another makeup look. This look is completely Pinterest inspired. I was just scrolling through Pinterest and I saw these cute looks with just two shade, or just using the one shade, what is that, monochromatic, no cut crease, nothing like that. So literally I used two shades, just this purple that you see and a lighter purple right above, and that was it. And this came out so freaking pretty. Like, this is the epitome of springtime look right here. Like, I am in love with this look. So if you're interested in how I achieve this look, just keep watching. But first, before you keep watching, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And until the next video, bye guys. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get right into this video. I am going to go ahead and prime my brows as I usually do. This time I'm using the Fenty setting powder in Hazelnut, and then I'm going to use my tried and true Anastasia dip brow pomade in chocolate. I probably will never try anything else because this stuff is amazing. So yeah, just filling in my brows. I already did one brow and now I'm just finishing up the other. All right, we got the brows looking good. So now I'm going to go ahead and set under my brows and prime my lid. So first, to set under my brows, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in Chestnut. And I'm just using a thin amount because I'm going to use that white concealer that you saw to prep my lid for my eyeshadow. So I'm just not going to use a lot of concealer. And then this is one of my favorite brushes to blend out everything. I got this actually from Target. It's a really nice flat, dense brush, short bristles too. And I'm just making sure to get as close as possible, but not all the way up front. Right, and now I'm using the Juvia's Place Concealer. I believe this is the shade 24. I think it's the lightest shade that they have. And I'm just packing that onto my lid. It is very important to make sure to pack it in so there's no creasing. But I have noticed with this concealer that it gets a little cracky. So I'm gonna go in with another brush with no product on it and just really like blend it out and just try to not go too high up towards my brow because then it'll cancel out the other concealer that I just used. All right, and for my eyeshadow, I'm going to start off with a very pretty shade out of the NYX Lash Beauty palette. This is their 35D palette, and I'm using this super pretty lavender shade. I will say this, I do love their palettes. They have a lot of different colors, pretty similar to Morphe palettes, but I don't think that their colors blend that easily, so you have to actually pack on the color instead of doing a swiping motion as I'm doing right now. So I'm just packing on the color using a tapping motion versus swiping. And then to blend that out into my brows, I'm going to be using the NYX Brights in the lavender shade as well. It doesn't really look like it on the camera, but it is their lavender shade. It's just lighter than the one I just used. So I'm just using that to blend it out, that first shade, so that there's no harsh lines. And to cover anywhere that's still white from the Juvia's Place concealer. Right, and now that that's all blended out, I'm using a another brush with that same purple color from the Lick and Lash palette to just blend out just a little bit more. There was a little bit of a separation from the two colors, so I'm still trying to do a tapping motion as much as possible, just to make sure it's all the way blended together. Right, and now I'm going to do my wing liner using the NYX Liquid Suede liner. Beautiful, beautiful. And now to clean it up, I'm just using some Mercier water and a Q-tip and just cleaning up all the product down below before I start on my foundation. For my foundation, or for to prime my skin, I'm going to be using the Cover FX Blurring Primer for all of the places that I have larger pores. So my T-zone, my cheeks, my chin, forehead. Actually, I didn't use it on my forehead this time, but sometimes I do. And then everywhere I didn't use the Cover FX, I'm using the Milk Hydro Gel Primer. And I'm just applying that everywhere and then slightly smoothing it out with my finger. And then I'm gonna tap it as well to get it nice and tacky. All right, and once I put on my primer, I'm gonna now put on my setting powder. I do this every time. This is a staple in my routine. I'm using the Fenty Loose Setting Powder in Hazelnut, and I'm just going to set my entire face before my foundation. This is key to keeping your face locked down the entire day. No budging of your makeup, anything. I get asked all the time, why does it look like my makeup hasn't even smudged or anything? The only place I actually have to touch up is my nose because my nose is like extremely oily. But other than that, this is amazing. I highly recommend doing this step. And really you can use any shade of setting powder. I have a lighter shade from Fenty that I use, and I also use my Laura Mercier from time to time. And I am using a damp beauty blender. And for a foundation, I'm mixing together as I usually do. So I have the Born to Glow and the Born This Way. And then I spray my face with setting spray, and then I go ahead and blend away. And now I'm just using a smaller brush to kind of get the foundation up by my baby hairs because it was hard to do with the bigger brush and I didn't want makeup all on my baby hairs. All right, and then I'm just fanning my face so the makeup dries a little bit, and I'm going back in with that damp beauty blender and I'm just going over my entire face, and this gets any excess foundation off and then just melts everything into your skin. But you do have to let your foundation dry down a little bit, or else you're just going to take a lot of it back off. onto concealer, I use the Tarte Shape Tape and Tan Deep Sand and the Born This Way concealer in Chestnut. And I did put a little extra product up by my wing liner so that I could go ahead and make sure my wing was as sharp as possible. Right, and now I'm going to go back with that same damp beauty blender and just blend away. Please note that I did let the concealer sit for a few minutes as well. If you don't, it just like the foundation, it just all comes off onto your beauty blender versus staying on your face. So you do have to let your concealer thicken up a little bit before you start blending that out. Now I'm going to contour my cheeks. I feel like I really haven't contoured in a long time, but I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place in number 2. It is a very dark color, so 2 drops is literally all you need. And then I have this little brush that I got from TJ Maxx that's the perfect size and shape to go ahead and carve out my cheekbones. Look at that, sharp. But since it is an intense shade, you'll see here in a minute that I'm going to go over it with that same beauty blender and just actually take off some of the concealer. I don't let this thicken up. I actually go just right over it with the beauty blender to kind of soften that up. Now I'm going to go into my Bare Minerals Mocha foundation. It's a very pretty chocolatey brown. I feel like my skin is very olive, so I need to combat that with some warmer tones to even out my skin just overall. I feel like I look way too green and olivey if I don't do a mixture of warm and cool tones. Now I'm just going to carve under my cheek contour with that Fenty Beauty Loose Setting Powder in Hazelnut. I use this shade versus the Laura Mercier setting powder just so that it didn't leave too much of a white shadow that I find it does. And now I'm just going to go over everything with my Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth powder in the shade Coconut. And I don't let the setting powder that I put under my cheeks, I don't let that sit and bake. I immediately went in with my Fit Me powder to go over that area. And it still somewhat leaves like a little bit of a shadow or cast under my cheekbones, cheek contour, but it's not as bad as using a lighter shade. So it is what it is. I'm going to go back into that Bare Minerals powder in Mocha and just contour out my nose. Now for my blush, I'm using this really pretty orange shade in the Juvia's Blush Volume 1 palette. And I just use a light hand until I get to the amount of blush that I like. To highlight, I'm just highlighting my nose and above my my Cupid's bow, and I'm using the Wet n Wild highlighter and Precious Petals. And then I'm gonna set my face with facial spray, and now I'm gonna go to my under eye. Oh yeah. All right, so now I'm using the e.l.f. Loose Glitter, and this is in the color Cosmic Silver. I think I actually found this at TJ Maxx as well. I don't think I got this like in Ulta or anything. But it's a really pretty, like, it reminds you of like disco glitter is what the color looks like. I couldn't really capture it on camera. But I'm using the NYX Glitter Primer first, and then I'm gonna go over with my e.l.f. glitter. And you'll see that in just a minute. And I was careful to really take my time with this because I didn't want to have too much glitter on my brush and then go to press it on my under eye and the glitter flakes get in my eye because it is a very uncomfortable feeling. So I did take my time with the glitter. Now I'm going back into that same purple I did on my upper lid, or just my lids, from Lick and Lash Beauty, and just going right below the glitter. I'm gonna spray my face one more time. I usually always spray twice with this setting spray. For my lashes, these are just 3D lashes, mink lashes that I found on Amazon. They don't have a name to them, so I just Google lashes and look at reviews and pictures and see if there's one I like, and then I just go ahead and buy them. These are, I think these are 25 lashes because they are super dramatic and fluffy, and I love them. And I think they were maybe like only $10 too. So I would definitely check out Amazon. They are the plug. All right, and now I'm going back in with that NYX glitter primer and a NYX loose glitter, and this is in the shade GLI 07. I guess it doesn't have a name, but it's a really pretty white glitter that I'm applying to my tear ducts. Now for my lips, I'm gonna line my lips with the L'Oreal Infallible Less Chocolate Scented Matte Lipstick. I love this stuff. And then I'm going to go over everywhere with the NYX Lingerie Satin Ribbon. This is such a pretty combination, and that L'Oreal that I use as my liner never smudges. And then I'm going to go over everything with the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Cotton Candy. It's a really pretty lavender to go with my eyes. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I finally got to use some clips. I'm so happy. I got a whole big old bag from Amazon with all these different colors in it. So I was gonna put more in it, but I just love how the two look. But yeah, this look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And until the next video. Bye guys.